How can I become an interesting person? Yes. This desire to be an interesting person is actually the biggest reason for consumerism in our world. We do all this shopping, we buy all these things we don't need because we think they will make us more interesting. And on a superficial level, they actually do. We are more attracted to someone who is dressed well, has all the latest electronic gadgets, nice car, nice apartment, nice furniture. We stay with them for a while, and then we start getting bored with them. Simply because they think it's what they have that makes them interesting. At first glance, yes. But if you want to spend what we call quality time with a person, you are going to have to take another route. First of all, you would have to ask yourself, why did I stop being interesting? Because if you notice little children, 99% of them are interesting. Even the evil ones, the ones that you want to kill, they're still interesting. Which means you were born interesting, or you were interesting when you were a child. And at some point, you stopped being interesting. In the majority of cases, we stop being interesting when we get judged, when we are judged by others. We don't like this feeling. So we stop being ourselves. See, interesting is someone who is themselves. But in order to avoid being judged, we stop mentioning what we think, we stop expressing who we really are. We go into safety. And this is where we lose our interesting side. So as the statement in this picture says, you will have to reach this level where you simply don't care what others think of you. And then you will become interesting again. Because, again, I'm going to repeat this. If you didn't care about being judged, you would have remained interesting. So, say to yourself, I might be judged for being me. So, what's the big deal? And then take a slow, deep breath and notice your body feeling lighter. Excuse me. Also, become comfortable being alone. Like when you are alone, don't try and call people right away. Stay alone for a few hours, even a few days. Don't try and go shopping. so you won't be alone. Because if you're never alone, you will never connect with the real you. The real you is always interesting, no matter what. So connect with the real you. Like being alone, and talk with yourself. Talk to yourself. You're actually having a conversation with the rest of you, with your soul, with your guides. I'm repeating this all the time, but you see, it has so much to do with you finding your interesting part again. Stay alone. Be alone. It's okay. The reason most people fear being alone is because they do not like themselves. And when you are alone, you do come face to face with yourself. So start liking yourself. Children like themselves, which means you did like yourself. You used to like yourself, and then somewhere along the line you stopped. Try and go back to that moment by simply asking yourself, why did I stop being interesting? Don't ask, how can I become interesting? Why did I stop being interesting? And then your soul has an interest in showing you this, in giving you the feeling of either the first time you were judged or the first time you took it seriously. And then you can go into being interesting. And you know what? Stop trying to look busy. You see so many people walking in the streets fast because they think if they walk fast, they are busy. They're actually going somewhere. Stop this. Walk slowly and look at people in the street. Look them in the eye. Don't stare, that's different. That's creepy. But establish eye contact. Don't just put your, what do they call those things we put in our ears? Headphones. Don't just put your headphones on and walk fast to pretend you're busy and you have a life. It's silly. Take those things off. Like your surroundings. There is no need to cut yourself off from your surroundings. You see, you do all these things to isolate yourself from the others, and then you complain that you are alone. Well, of course. If you have those headphones on, no one will ever stop you to ask you for directions or ask you a question. So, yes, when you do something like this, when you catch yourself walking fast and not looking at anyone, pretending you are in your own little world, stop and ask yourself, why do I need to do this? Where did I get the idea from that this is different? Or that this is special, or that by doing this, I am somebody. I have a life. No, you don't. You don't. The streets, the sidewalk, is such an amazing place. And you cut yourself off from it because you want to look busy. Okay, enough with the judgment. How can I become an interesting person? Stop the shopping. You don't need it. You really, really, really do not need it. There's another thing. We become superficial. There's nothing wrong with that because there's no wrong or right. However, we become superficial. We attract someone because of our superficiality. And then we complain that they don't like the real us. Yes, but you have never been the real you. You have only been superficial. That is who they met. And because they have also been convinced that you are what you have, they liked it. They don't know the real you because you have never been real. So, this one's a sad one because, you see, I love walking the streets. I see so many people that are interesting if you go down deep. But you cannot go down deep because they're only focused on how they look. Again, like being alone, try and find more of you because you are interesting. And check off those silly, okay, they're not silly. I don't even know if they call them headphones. I've never had them. Those things we put in our ears so we can listen to music from our iPhone or our iPad. Take them off and walk slower. There is no rush. Life is short. There is no rush to go to the end of it. I'm going to leave it at this because I thought I would have more information, but I'm not getting it. So I'm going to leave it at this.